Hello and welcome back to Shakesyear. We are working on the Spanish tragedy and we get to hear from, all together now, Hieronimo today. We're still in what some versions call Act 3, Scene 13, other versions call Act 3, Scene 14, depending on whether or not 12a exists. And in this scene, Hieronimo was going to try to hold himself together, and he still very much wants revenge, but he was going to try to act a little more normal and get back to business and that sort of thing. So some people came with various suits, with bonds, with leases, things like that, and an older gentleman whose issue it turns out to be also has a murdered son, and he wanted to get help with that. And of course, as soon as Hieronimo hears murdered son, he goes off, he starts giving things away, and then people are like, oh, look at how generous he is. And then he gets back into his sort of revenge state of mind, saying that he may not be able to get revenge here on earth, but he will follow them to hell and rip and tear them to shreds. And as he's talking about ripping and tearing to shreds, he starts ripping up the documents that these people have given him, the bonds, the leases, stuff like that. And they're like, oh my gosh, that's my paperwork, you can't destroy it. And one of the gentlemen is like, you know, you just ripped up 10 pounds worth of lease. That's all my lease was worth, and you've just ripped it up. And Hieronimo says, that cannot be. I never gave it a wound. Show me one drop of blood fall from the same. How is it possible I should slay it then? Tush. No. Run after. Catch me if you can. And he goes running out, and everybody else goes out running with him, except for the old man who stays there. And after a little bit, Hieronimo comes back in, so it's just Hieronimo and the old man. And Hieronimo says, and art thou come, Horatio, from the depth, to ask for justice in this upper earth? To tell thy father thou art unrevenged, to wring more tears from Isabella's eyes, whose lights are dimmed with overlong laments? Go back, my son, complain to Aeacus, for here's no justice. Gentle boy, be gone, for justice is exited from the earth. Hieronimo will bear thee company. Thy mother cries on righteous Radamanth for just revenge against the murderers. So the first part of this, and it's a weird monologue because it has this little like runaround bit in the middle, but the first part of it, he's like, no, I didn't destroy your paper because it didn't bleed, therefore I didn't wound it. And then he goes running off, catch me if you can, and everybody goes running after him except for the old man, Basulto, who stays there. And when Hieronimo comes back in and sees Basulto, he starts addressing him as if he were his son Horatio, and saying, are you back to haunt me because I haven't gotten revenge for you yet? Like there's no justice to be found for you here, and your mother's still crying. All of these sorts of things. And Basulto is like, I don't understand what you're saying. And Hieronimo continues on with, oh, my son Horatio. And the old man is like, I'm not your son. But of course, Hieronimo is going to have yet another monologue to share with us in response to this old man saying that he's not Horatio, but is in fact Basulto. Hieronimo is in a different state of mind, and we will get to hear about that tomorrow. So I will see you then. Mwah.